I've gotten a whole bunch of questions about my floor stand, and I thought I'd do an updated video on it trying to answer some of those questions. Number one question I get is, where did I get it? Well, my husband built it for me. This is like rendition 10 or 11, but we are slowly working the bugs out of it for me, and the longer I use it, the more finalized it comes. Nope, they will never be built for public sale. My husband's like, just sell that one, I'll build you a new one. But yeah, but I wanted to show, since so many people had questions on it, I thought I would show what it is. But yes, he built the whole thing for me. It started out as a tabletop, and it worked into, well, this. So what basically I wanted was something that would rotate my project while holding on to it, so that I didn't have to unhook it from the frame to turn it over to tie the knots or to start the thread or any of that. But I also wanted it to be incredibly interchangeable. Like, I have the attention span of a 2-year-old, so I needed it to change projects quickly. So I didn't have to unbolt a whole bunch of things or cut fabric off of frames, things like that. And so this is what we've come up with, and we're always on the hunt to better it. So down the road, it could look different. The number one thing I'm trying to find is a prettier clamp. But basically, I'll just start from one side and work my way over. On this side, he built me a little table, if you will, out of a piece of 2x4. And I have just a metal plate under it, but there are holes in case I use a different kind of pin cushion. And so these are the only tools that I really use. So I have my pin cushion, my seam ripper, my snag dabbit, scissors, and a thread starter, or needle threader, I guess. And so that is that. We have, like I said, it's a work in progress. This arm and this leg will get rebuilt in the spring, because now we know where exactly I want the holes to be. So for right now, the old holes are still kind of in there. You can see where we've adjusted it, trying to find the right hole. So, but yeah, so that's my first little side table. I do have 2 lights that just slide into a hole in my top. And this top does come off, just this top part, so that we can access bolts and screws and all kinds of things like that. And so, yeah, I have 2 of the lights, one on each side. They are any of this kind of stuff I keep in my Amazon store, which will be linked down below. But I found these on Amazon. If you have a question, just let me know, and I will link you up to it. Yeah. Okay, so that's the light on this side, and then you can rotate them out of the way. In the middle, I have my floss wrangler tray holder, if you will. It does slide back and forth, so that if my strings get in the way or whatever, I can move it back and forth, but it's kind of set where I like it now. It's just a bamboo recipe book holder type thing. It folds down like this, so it's like an easel, and so it's like that. And to use it, you can put anything there, your patterns, your charts, whatever. I use it for my floss wrangler trays. It looks like this, and that way when I'm working on my chart, all of my floss can hang here, and I have easy access to it, like a painter's palette, if you will. Anyways, so if you come this way, I have my other lamp, and again, they swing out of the way if I want them. And then I just posted about this little shelf. My husband made that for me. I was asking for a place if we're going to do it all in one, I need one more shelf. And I just thought he'd do another little 2x4 to hold my ort holder and my journal that I use with all of my changes and that kind of stuff with all of my charts. And he came up with this awesome little shelf that is like this. It does have a hole in the top to hold the ort holder. And then I found this little gasket at Dollar Tree on one of their little glass jars, and it just holds my really firm. And so there's that. And that kind of gives you, I have magnets stuck all over it. I use magnets for everything. So that's up to that side. On the back, I do have a bar that I can hang various flosses from, things like that. Usually I don't store too much here unless I'm working on an oddball project that isn't part of my yearly plan. And then I have just an extension cord for the lamps. I haven't figured out something pretty and cool for that yet. But we'll come back to the front here. And I'm going to switch the camera to something I'm not holding so I can show you how the clamp mechanism works. Okay, so I have no idea how the sound will work on this, but hopefully you can still hear me. What it is it is essentially 2 clamps that you can get. I got these at Harbor Freight for $5. The reason that I don't provide like plans and exact how we made it and that kind of stuff is that a lot of this stuff was fabricated with tools that most people aren't going to have. It's welded, it's cut with high-powered saws. We used drill presses and things like that most average people are not going to have. So it's really difficult to say, well, you just go down to the hardware store and buy this, because there was a whole lot of fabrication that came with it. So I mean, if you're crafty or skilled with tools, or your husband or even you have a shop full of tools, then you probably can figure this out. But anyways, on each side is a ratcheting clamp. You just pull the trigger to go down. You push the release button to come up. It has got a welded bar that we added threads to and put handles. They're just, I don't know, I found them for like 50 cents at Lowe's. They're water spigot handles that my husband drilled out and put a nut set in. And so basically what that allows it to do is I can either leave it where I want it and tighten it down, or I can loosen it. I don't want to hit myself with it. And it moves freely. And so by doing that, you can work on the back of your chart, flip it back up, keep on stitching, and you just tighten it right back down. You can tighten either side, anything like that. We have used aluminum angle iron to build the top and the bottom out of. We found that just using wood wasn't strong enough because you put so much pressure on it holding your frames that it was bowing. And so we just used a piece of aluminum angle. There's iron angle and stuff. I just thought the aluminum looked pretty because, you know, that's the important part. Anyways, I'll show you how you switch things in. It was originally built strictly to put my scroll frames in. I can do a video on these if you guys want a more in-depth, video on this. But I do have a pretty good in-depth video or web page on this, and I'll link it also. But this is what my husband built me originally, and then this came after it. And so I needed something I could load up a whole bunch of projects. I have 17 of these, I believe now. But I wanted to be able to switch them. When I got tired, I just want to switch out. I don't want to screw with it. And so we built them for this. And basically all you have to do is set it into the clamps, tighten it down, and it's in there. I mean, it's not going anywhere. And so you can, you know, spin it, do whatever you need to do. But my favorite part about it is when I'm done with a project, I just release the clamps, out it goes, boom, next project goes in. And that was my number one requirement. I really didn't care about anything else. I just wanted to be able to change projects really quick. It does allow for you to use different kinds of hoops with it because it's pressure sensitive. So the first one, I have all sizes of all kinds of things. The first one I have is the Nerj. It's a Turkish hoop, I believe. And then what I do is I just kind of get it down close to where it needs to go. And you can go either way. Even though there's a spinny tightener lock thing there, I could come down this way if I wanted to. I normally stitch this way on these, actually this way, so that the lock doesn't get in my way. But all you have to do is tighten it down. Let me check to make sure we're still recording. Yep. Tighten it down, and again, it's pressure locked in, and it'll stay there and stay there and stay there. If you want to switch that out, you just take it out, replace it. Again, you can put the wooden hoops that you see. Hold on, I need a third hand. Get down here a little bit. I'll show you on this one. And then you can, again, just tighten it. There's nothing in it, and I don't have it tightened on the inner ring, so it smushes a little bit. But when you have something in it and you have both rings tightened together, they don't mush. But if you want to switch that out, again, let's say you have a Q-snap. And again, it's in there for life, and it will go all the way over. I just never go all the way over. I usually just tip it down, start or end my needle, and keep going. But yeah, it like I said, it was originally built for my scroll frames, and so I can even go smaller. If I pop these off, we've made it so that if I pop this cap off, I can then move them even closer together, and so I can use those little 3-inch to 4-inch hoops if I wanted to, which I don't, but I could if I wanted to. But yeah, so then you just back to the thing again. The other thing is these have been cut down. These were, I think, 3-foot clamps, but and then you're back to business. All right, I don't know what else there was for questions. It does have wheels on it. That is a 100% requirement in my house. Everything has wheels. Everything's at my hand's reach. I don't put my charts far away because I have to take my glasses off to to stitch. So I just magnet my charts to my project, but you could easily put, if you've got great vision, you know, you could put anything up there. I don't know what else to add. So if you have more questions, please leave them in the comments. And yeah, that is the floor stand that I use for my cross stitching that my husband built for me. Thank you for watching. Bye.